All right, so then we got a 2006 Mercedes-Benz C230, also known as a W203. Okay, we are gonna replace the starter. I already did it, but I'm gonna show you. This is probably one of the toughest jobs I've ever done. So here's the old starter. Apparently, these don't go bad very often. And I think mine was a combination of going bad and combination of some electrical issues. All right, so right here, you'll see you've got the top post. That's your continuous positive, meaning there's always power to it. And then this one over here on the side, that's the it's a little purple wire that runs into it, so that when you turn the key, it ignites it, it pushes power. And then this is the actual motor, and then this wheel right here kicks out and turns the crank. Okay, so there's a few things that you got to do to get to it. It's a real pain in the rear end, but this is what you're going to need. You're going to need an E12 tool, E12 star. That's what Mercedes likes to use, and they can't be normal and use regular sockets. And then you've got 10 millimeter. So at least there's one that's normal, 10 millimeter. And what these are for, real quick, I could show you. Okay, so the 10 millimeters, this one that goes on the side right there. And it'll just be good to know that. And then you got a 13 millimeter right here. This one goes on the constant positive right here. That keeps the wire fastened. And then this guy right here, 13 as well, is the engine mount bolt. And I'm gonna take you underneath and show you. But first things first, you want to disconnect your positive battery cable. You don't want to get have any issues there. So now we're gonna go up underneath the vehicle. Okay, so this is where you need the E12. Okay, this is your sway bar right here. See, this is the other side, and those are the two bolts that I took out. And you do that so that you could get your hand up through here and in towards the starter. This is the alternator right here. And I'm not changing that today. Okay, so see, I've slid that back a little bit. Okay, there's the motor mount, because in order to get the starter out, you actually have to take out that screw right there. That's that 13 millimeter. And then you're gonna have to put a jack. See, I've got a jack right there. And you're gonna put it right here with a piece of wood so you don't dent anything. And make sure it's not hitting this, or else you'll lift the whole car. And once you undo that 13 millimeter bolt, which is for the engine mount, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna slightly just start to jack this up, and it'll give you about an inch, inch and a half to 2 inches, which is what you need to be able to get that puppy out right there, and that's your starter. Okay, so the starter is held in by 2 bolts. Okay, and the bolts, let's see if I could point them out. They're the first one's not too bad to find. There's the first one, the light's on it right there. That's an E12, the same bit that I just showed you, the inverse star bit. And then the other one above it is the same socket, but it's really tough to get to, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you're just gonna have to feel your way for it. They're a real pain in the butt to get to and to get out. I'm not gonna be able to film with this. Anyway, once you get those out, so you pull those out, not easy, then you go ahead and you pull this out. So this will back out just a little bit. There's not a lot of room there. Then you'll want to jack this up just to give you 2 inches. You'll have to twist it around. It's going to be connected with the wires right there. So you're going to have to bring it down so that the wires are facing you, so that you can undo those bolts, which is going to be, remember, the 10 millimeter and the 13. There's 2 of them to the wires. So once you pull those wires off, then you can maneuver it around and basically berth it through that little hole right there. And then once you get it, the new one, and you get it ready to put back up, it's just the opposite. But you make sure that you put it on the same way, otherwise it's going to be a pain in the rear when you're trying to put these wires back on it. Okay, so, and then I went ahead and put some of this tubing around here because I found that I had a short And so that was not fun to deal with. But all in all, it worked out, and I was able to finally get everything connected and put back and get her started again. But what a job.